Hey, good Sunday evening. Sandy with Quilted Treasures and More here. I hope you've had a great week and a great weekend. We have been doing a lot of techie things this week around the crafting table. So, trying to get things wrapped up on a website and also an online shop and work on a Pinterest page. So, lots of tech stuff going on behind the scenes here at Quilted Treasures. Hey, if you got a chance to check things out yesterday, I went live and did a reveal of our May paint party box. And here it is. It is a cute little bee and it says be happy. So that is our May paint party box. And ordering is available for the next 4 or 5 days as we have the May paint party box available at this time. All right, so what's on my crafting table? If you caught a glimpse of the post from earlier, you know that I have this cute little panda bear on my crafting table today. And I keep playing with my cameras here, so just bear with me a second. Always got to make adjustments and try to make sure he's in everywhere he needs to be. All right, so we're going to get started on this. And this cute little panda bear, I've got several cute little animals. There's a sea turtle, and oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of what else I got in the last couple of months here that are just cute little animals that would be adorable in kids' rooms because I've told you more than once that door hangers are not just for the front door or the side door or the back door. They are perfect for kids' doors or in kids' rooms. And also, you could even put one on the bathroom door, which I've actually thought about doing, hanging one on the bathroom door. My daughter likes horses, and so we actually have a horse theme going on in her bathroom. So I've considered doing a horse themed door hanger for her room. All right, so we're going to jump in here. Going to get some black and some white. I'm going to go ahead and put both of them in there. Normally, I tell y'all, start with the lightest color, start with the lightest color. And then, well, you know me. I just kind of jump in there and put in all the colors. All right, so this part up here is going to be white. And so we're going to get started on our cute little panda bear. And if you comment in the comments, just know that sometimes Facebook does not let me see the comments during the live. And so if you comment and I do not reply back, or I do not acknowledge that I see your comment, just know that probably something has frozen on my end, and I will comment as soon as I can, either when it actually shows up or after the live. Speaking of the live, if you spread the love to your family and friends, some people say sprinkle the love. If you do that and comment sprinkled in the comments or spread, either way, I will put you in our drawing for this month's Mailbox Delight. And that, y'all, I feel like I just drew a winner and I'm looking at the calendar going, oh my goodness, we are almost halfway through the month. Or we are halfway through the month. I take that back. Today's the 16th. We're halfway through the month. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Where is the year going? I know last year we all felt like, in one instance, it was like slow as Christmas because of everything that was going on. And then in another instance, I felt like the year was flying by. Well, this year just seems to be, I feel like we were just in January. And now I'm looking at May and end of school and all that good stuff. But we will be drawing for our Mailbox Delight in the very near future. So to get in on that giveaway, simply spread the love and then comment like I said, either spread or sprinkled. And I will make sure your name gets in the drawing. All right, so we're just working here on our little panda bear, and all I'm doing is just working on the white part. I probably should have base coated. It would have gone just a little bit faster, but that's okay. I can always go back and add a third coat after I get through with the first two. And if I do, I'll just add that afterwards and then show y'all the finished. I usually show pictures either the day after or a couple of days after. Just depends. Usually I finish them up after the live or finish up what I'm working on after the live is off, but sometimes I'll wait a couple of days and then we just kind of revisit what took place on the live. So we're just going around his eyes and his mouth, or maybe it's a her. I don't know. To me, if it was a her, it might have a little bow, which, you know, you could always add a cute little bow on one of the ears. So I am trying to make sure that I'm looking at a picture of our panda because I want to make sure I get all the white taken care of, or at least started. So that way I will, ears are going to be white, so I'm going to dab just a little bit on the ears there. And then the tummy is going to be white. And then, okay, I think that's all of the white. Yes. One thing I did not do, I just realized looking at my little picture that actually his eyes are brown. So I'm like, oh goodness, I'll have to grab a brown when we get ready to do the eyes. That way he can have brown little eyes. All right, so I'm just watching as I go around, making sure I'm staying in the areas that are white. There's actually a small little area between the head and the stomach that is black, and so I'm just trying to make sure that I stay out of that and get his little bitty tummy all covered in white. In some of this month's templates, I do have a mermaid, and I know I have a sea turtle and a dolphin. And then I know there were some koala bear that was last month with the panda bear. And I was trying to think what else was in last month. There were several cute little animals. And then this month, I think we've got the cute little sea animals. I'm going to switch brushes to work on the little paws down here because it's mostly curved. And if you've watched for very long, you know that I like to use what they call filbert tip brushes for the curved parts, just because it is shaped round on the end and it helps to get those curved lines a little better. You don't have to work as hard as you do when you've got a flat tip brush. All right, so working around his little paws, and this would be super cute. The little paws here where you could add a name, a kid's name. Or you could actually add a small piece below the panda here and actually have the child's name underneath, like attached with rope or ribbon or something like that. Let me check real quick. I always like to check and make sure things are looking okay on Facebook as far as the video goes, because periodically Periodically, things will freeze up on my end, but I have discovered that even if it freezes on my end, a lot of times y'all can still see it and it works. It just keeps working. It's just I can't see anything on my end. So I mentioned the paint party box that officially got kicked off yesterday. That's the May paint party box. And it is a cute little bee, little pennant door hanger that says "Be Happy," and that's available for the next several days. Coming up in June, just to give you a little inside scoop, coming up in June, we will have the Door Dazzle box. I'm going to turn him just a little bit. So the Door Dazzle box for the next quarter will be available in June. And also coming up in June, Quilted Treasures is going to be hosting an in-person paint party. So if you are in or around the Mobile, Alabama area, you will have an opportunity to come paint live and in person with me. So we will be getting out the details as far as tickets and things like that go. There will be an early bird special, so watch for that and you'll get a discount on early bird tickets. That'll only last for a couple, 2 or 3 days probably. So just keep an eye on that. And that'll be coming up toward the end of June. Another thing I mentioned was about the website doing techie things this week. This has actually been going on for, I guess, a couple of weeks now, trying to get things squared away with setting up a website and setting up an ordering system. So we have just been working in the technical end. So lots of hours on the computer. I have been able to do a couple of door hangers and actually did our winner from the 100 follower giveaway. Got to do her Door Dazzle box. She got the next one, so she got it before anybody. Actually got to deliver that to her today. I've got paint all over my hand. Y'all, how did I do that? What did I touch? I don't know. I got it all over my arm. Oh, it happens. I was working on the doormat for the Door Dazzle box, and I had paint. I lost track of how much paint. I think there was as much paint on me as there was the doormat. I'm not kidding y'all. It was it was crazy. I looked down at my hands one time and I'm like, I can't touch anything. I'm covered in paint. All right, so we are just putting a second coat on our little panda bear here. Working on getting him covered. And then we'll move on, and probably next I'm going to do his nose next. It's not very big, but we're going to go ahead and get that done because it's a lighter color, and I want to do that before I get into the black, because the black will have a good bit of area to cover, but I don't want to risk getting black on everything else. So we are going to work on the nose and then probably his little bamboo stalk here because it will be green. We're going to work on that. If you're hanging out with me this evening, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Just give me a hello and what city or area, state you are in. I'd like to know what areas I'm reaching. And if you're watching on the replay, just put replay and then you can say hi. I do What's on My Crafting Table every Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. Except for holidays. Holidays I do reserve for my family, so I usually take the night off. Give you time to spend with your family. So I usually take that time off. I did not do Mother's Day last week though. We most of the Mother's Day festivities and celebrating took place in the day, so during the day. So by the time 6:30 rolled around, we were pretty much back to our normal Sunday evening routine. So I went ahead and carried on with a Facebook Live, What's on My Crafting Table. Last week, got to do the patriotic flip-flops. That's always fun. Actually working on a new version of the patriotic, okay, patriotic flip-flops. Not sure if I was trying to say pancreas or if I was trying to say patriotic or if I was trying to say pantry. Maybe maybe that's a sign that I need to grab something to eat after I finish up. Maybe it was pantry. Oh my goodness. Patriotic flip-flops is what we did last week. So, all right. So let's see. I'm going to switch to the other brush to the back to. Heard something go off, but I'm not sure what it was. May have been off my phone. All right. Let's see here. In case you hear background noise, we do have a TV going in the living room area, so it may travel through. I'm not sure exactly how well that that holds. It holds sound just within my immediate area. So when we have things going on in the living room, I do my best to make sure I've got my AirPods in my ears, and that way it's just typically recording right here close at hand, but I know sometimes it will pick up background noises. So if you hear noises in the background, that is just the TV going on in the next room. Hey, we are keeping it real and family life, hashtag family life here at Quilted Treasures. And we love it that way. We love it that way. All right, so a second coat going on the ears here. Just trying to get our little panda all squared away so we can move on to the next colors and get him all finished up and ready to go. All right, so just kind of looking him over. He's got a few little spots here and there, and I think I'm just going to take my filbert tip brush here. It won't cover as quickly, but I'm going to see if I can just kind of fill in some of those places real quick. Just kind of spot paint, not really trying to go over the entire thing again. Sometimes if you can't get it to cover what you feel like is a real smooth coat, grab a little bit of water in your brush, just a little bit. Don't like soak it, just a little bit. And that'll help to smooth out, stretch that paint out a little bit and kind of smooth out any bizarre clumps or I don't want to say bumpy places because it's not bumpy. It's blumpy. It's not bumpy. It's just areas where the paint seems to be a little thicker. So just a little bit of water, and you can, I was going for more water. I need more paint. Can kind of spread those out a little bit. Anybody do anything interesting this week? I'm always looking for interesting stories, interesting ideas, what everybody's getting back into the swing of. We actually had an end of the year party this week, so school is not out, but got to enjoy some time with schoolmates, classmates, and friends, and so that was pretty neat. Enjoyed that. I got to take a time off from my every my weekly job. I do have more than one job, in case you're wondering. You took a day off from Quilted Treasures. I did take a day off from Quilted Treasures too, but I do have another job that I do during the week, and took a day off from that and got to enjoy the end of the year party. So that was fun. Did not see any pandas while we were, enjoying the end of the year party, thankfully. Did have somebody say they saw a snake though, so uh, I don't have 100% verification on that, but I did hear someone mention that there was a snake that was, hanging out in the vicinity of where we were having our party. So that's always fun. All right, we're going to try a third coat on the feet here, on the little paw pads, and I think that's going to do it for the paws. Again, if I don't see your comment, just know that Facebook may have glitched, but I do check after the live is over with. And even if you're watching on the replay, drop me a comment because I always come back and read my comments after the replay, or after the live is over with. So share with me any interesting things that you've done this week. Tell me how your week's gone. All right, let's see. So we took care of that. I'm gonna do his little tummy one more time. Like I said, that'll be 3 coats on everything, I think, except the ears, and I'll go back and get them too. And then we're gonna move on. Because like I said, anything, I was actually just gonna stop at 2, but then I still saw a few little places here and there, so I'm like, well, we'll hit it with a third. Sometimes it takes 3. We'll hit it with a third, and then we'll move on. All right, let's get his ears real quick, and then we'll move on, get his nose, and get our little friend a little more colorful here. Don't forget about the Mailbox Delight. That's where I draw for a winner at the end of the month. If you have helped to spread the love for my video here with family and friends, just come back and comment spread or sprinkled, and I will put your name in the drawing. All right, let's move to our little bamboo. And what I'm going to do with the bamboo, I'm actually going to get a smaller brush. No, not the bamboo. I'm getting ahead of myself. the nose. And I'm going to need a small brush for the nose because the nose is not very, very big. So we are going to, again, get a filbert tip brush. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this in the lid. I'll show y'all what I'm doing. And yes, I do use an egg carton, in case you're wondering. Yes, it is an egg carton. So I'm just going to grab a smaller filbert tip brush and just get a little bit of pink. And this is going to take probably 3 coats on the pink. Lighter colors, this is why I base coat my door hangers most of the time, because the lighter colors tend to need multiple coats if you don't base coat. So, all right, so we're going to leave him just for a few minutes. I'm going to rinse this brush because I'm going to use this one for the bamboo. Now, the bamboo, we're going to do kind of a neon green. Now, bamboo may not actually be a neon green color when it's nice and green, but it was the closest color I could find as far as what I wanted. Now, I will tell you that neon colors, they are brighter if you will white coat under them. This, I'm not so much worried about it being bright, because I didn't want the bamboo to be neon. It just so happens that this was the color that was closest to the bamboo color in my little template sketch. Now, my little panda bear, he has been laser cut and laser etched, but this one I actually did go over with a Sharpie marker. So that's not it's not something I do a lot now that we're having them laser cut and laser etched, but I did do it for this one, just to kind of see what the difference was when being on camera. Now, when I'm painting them, I don't trace them out anymore. I just use my cut lines from the laser, and that works really, really well. So you just paint right over everything, and you can still see the lines underneath. And so that's been a really, really neat thing. I've been very excited that we were able to work out that option for quilted treasures. So it's been really, really cool the past few weeks as we have worked with getting things set up, and of course having me check out things as far as the cut goes, and make sure it's what I want as far as the depth of the cut lines and things like that. So it's been pretty cool to go through that process. It's one of those things, as you watch your ideas and your adventure grow from one level to another, that you find it interesting, some of the areas of growth that you walk through, and that's been pretty cool to have the laser option added in. All right, so I think I am just about to a point where I'm good on the initial color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a very little bit of the dark the darker Hauser green. And I'm just going to come along just a little bit down here and just give just a little bit of a dark line. And it doesn't have to be a perfect line. I'm not trying to get a rulered out straight line. Just a little bit of a dark line. Works better when I can plant my pinky, so that way I can keep my brush from going crazy. And I still have some of that neon green in my brush. So what I did was kind of go back over and actually have just a little bit of a shadow look now because of the lighter green still being on my brush. I can just kind of go over a little bit. So it gives it just a little bit of a shadow on our. Now that I've kind of got a little bit of a mix of that lighter and darker, I'm going to add just a little bit to the end just to darken it up and give it a little bit of a shadow. All right, so our pink probably needs one more coat. I'm going to rinse the green out of the brush really well, dry it off good, and make sure I've got all the green out, because we don't want a pink and green nose. We just want a pink nose for our little panda bear. So we're just going to come back in here, add a second coat. Get him a cute little blush pink nose going on here. I believe this is blush pink. I think that's what I picked. Have to double check. No, that was cotton candy. I am so sorry. I thought I did pick up blush pink, but then I saw cotton candy and I thought, you know what, that's closer to what I'm looking for as far as the nose goes. All right, so the nose is ready and the bamboo is ready. So now we're going to go to the black because we've got a good bit of area to take care of with the black. And so you know what, I'm just going to get another brush and I'm looking for, oh, no, that's not him. Oh, but he'll work. I actually have another flat brush that I was like, oh, I'd rather have that one, but he must be hiding from me. It's funny, I've collected a number of brushes, and I've replaced some of the brushes that I started with, and so periodically I get a good number of brushes in my little container here, and I lose some of my favorites. All right, now I'm going to check real quick because I can't remember how they separate. Okay, it's done with just a white line. I got to noticing that the foot, his little paw here, his paw, and the arm are both black, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm going to lose this if I'm not careful. And so I had to look real quick to see how they separated it. But what they did, they just draw a white outline between the two. So right here along the edge, we're just going to give it a little white outline when we get to our outline portion. And I probably could have done with just a little bit smaller brush, so I'm just kind of going a little slower. Get here in between my little bamboo leaves because I don't want to have them black. I want to keep them green. All right. work on his other arm here. I've got just a little bit of the black part showing right up there above his tummy. So that helps to separate or break up his the white of his face from the white of his tummy. He's just sitting down and enjoying him a little snack, a little bamboo stalk. Cute little panda. He's probably been playing hard with his friends. Just needed a little snack. Most of the time on black, I do not have to come back and do a second coat. Um, I have noticed sometimes that if there's of um, a lot of the black, a big area is what I'm trying to say, a big area of black that sometimes I have to smooth it out a little bit, kind of like what I was talking about with the white. And so sometimes I have to come back in with a little bit of a second coat. Now, I was talking about the etched part, the laser etched, even though this is all black and you can't see it on camera, but there is a line and I can see it through the paint. This etched line that lets me know that that's the edge of his paw. So that way I'll come back later with the white outline pen, or I could use white paint and a a round brush. I'm just about off camera. I have to watch when I'm doing this. Sometimes as I get toward the bottom, even though I've repositioned my cameras here in the last couple of weeks, I still hit spots where sometimes my door hanger is just at the bottom of the camera's range. So, all right, so I'm trying to go around the heart and not have to do a lot of touch up. So that's why I got quiet. Full concentration there. So if I get really quiet, y'all just bear with me a minute because I'm so wanting to not have to go back and do touch ups. Of course, grabbing a smaller brush would be, a really good option. I didn't think about the tinier brushes. Turning the brush sideways and using the edge is always helpful whenever you're going around tight spots like this. But the smaller the brush area, the easier it is to control. So sometimes that's why I was saying I really didn't want to have to go back and touch this up, but I do have a spot right over here on this one where I got a little out of line. And the bad thing is it's white, and that's going to be kind of hard to cover up, but we'll work on it. I'm not going to worry about it right now. We'll straighten it out before we post a final picture. So I try to get enough on the brush that I can make it around without having to go back over. Because when I go back over, that's when I usually end up having to fix a boo-boo. When I'm doing lives, I also try to keep the door hanger that I'm working on sitting upright. When I'm working on door hangers, just uh, not on a live, I have a Lazy Susan underneath, which it's underneath the Panda Bear now, but I spin it around so that way I can see from all different sides and I'm not trying to guess where the tip of the brush is. Our little Panda Bear is coming to life, y'all. Sometimes you'll see me dab the brush off before I go right up to a line, and what I'm doing is I am trying my best to keep from having a ridge. Some of you know what I'm talking about. When you first put your brush down and you go to paint, and there is just a ridge of paint on the edge. And so I will end up, you'll see me swipe it in the middle or in an open area before I go up to the line. And that is because I'm trying not to have that ridge of paint that you then have to figure out, oh, what do I do with this? Because if you go back over it, it just spreads. All right, so making my way around this little paw pads here. And I am seeing some places that I'm either going to A, have to touch up, or B, just kind of do a light second coat for the black. Which this one having such a big area for the panda, I would not be opposed to, or I would not dismiss the idea of doing a second coat, just because I really like making sure that a door hanger is covered well in paint. All right, I'm going to pull him back down just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get the ears. So we're just going to carefully get right here. I'm going to turn him just a little bit. Get right here and go around. Just trying to keep right on the edge of the line and not get in the ear. So my weekly newsletter goes out at roughly 8 o'clock, 8 or 8:15 on Sunday evening. If you're not on our e-newsletter list, comment below with your email address and I will get you in to the list. And that way you'll get our e-newsletter each week. It goes in depth as far as more information into things like the paint party box, also door dazzle box when that is revealed. Also, I have information about coming up events, so, or things I'm planning. All right, so just trying to get around the edge of his ear here. Get the edge. All right, so there's the ears. Now we've got the eyes. And we've got his little muzzle, his little snout, his little nose. All right, I'm just going to wipe the excess out of this brush because I'm going to change and get the filbert tip, the bigger filbert tip brush that I had a while ago that I was using for the white. I'm going to switch to it with the black because there's curves in both the eye portion and the nose portion. And like I was saying earlier, the filbert tip brush is just a lot easier when having to deal with curves. I just like the way it glides around and you don't have to fight with it the way you do sometimes with the flat tip brush. So I still got to pick a brown for his eyes because I didn't realize his eyes were brown. I was looking for colors a while ago, and then when I pulled him up to double check where my colors were going to be after I started the live, then I realized, oh gosh, his eyes are not black. His eyes are brown. All right, so just a little bit more here on this eye, and then we'll move to the other one. And then all we'll have left is this cute little snout. So just working around the corners here, or the curves, not really corners, curves. This one does not have a ton of different colors, but he's just so cute. Uh-oh. I just noticed something, y'all. I have dripped black somehow. May have had too much on my brush. Let me grab a baby wipe real quick and try to get this off before it dries. Baby wipes are wonderful things to have around when doing painting because you can just get it dabbed up real quick. I have actually found spots later after it dried and surprisingly enough managed to get it off with a baby wipe still. Did have to do a little touch up because I did have to do some rubbing. The problem with rubbing is that you tend to lose your bottom layer of paint. So just a little tidbit. All right, so this time I'm going to be careful, try not. It may have been when I made that curve, I may have actually flicked the brush as I came around the curve of the eye. So coming around the last part here. We're at his snout, y'all. Our little baby panda is almost complete. And then we can add outlines and little accent marks, and he'll be all ready. And like I said, there's a few places on the black that I'll probably go back and just kind of touch up a little bit. I won't do that um, on the live. I'll finish that up later. But my dog is digging through stuff. Don't dig through stuff. Nosy. If there's a bag left on the floor, he's so funny because he really does dig through it and look like, what's in this bag? Anything for me? Don't be nosy. Stay out of the bags. So there happens to be a bag on the floor on the other side of me over here. I'm watching him walk out of the room. Yes, busted. You were busted. Caught red-handed. Or in his case, I guess, red snout. Digging in the bag. You were caught. All right, so since I've got just a little bit smaller brush, I'm just going to kind of tap in these little places right here around the bamboo leaves and get those. Just going to hit a couple of quick places where I see that some of the black all right. Just covering a few little bare spots. All right, now we're going to find a brown, and get his eyes done. What color brown should we do his eyes? Let's see, what color brown did they have on their little sketch here? Okay, they've got a... Also rearranged my paint tray. Leave it to me. Rearrange the paint tray, and then I don't see... there's my browns. Reach around. Oh, I grabbed the right one, y'all. I feel like bingo night. Bingo! I did it. I'm almost out of my favorite brown, too. That's not good. Time to make a trip to the craft store. Yippee! All right, so he actually doesn't have a ton of brown. There's actually another ring of black in the center. So he's got a little bit of brown. Let's see, how do I want to do this and uh, not coat the... Well, it doesn't really matter. I can coat the whole thing now that I think about it, because get all of the black out of this one filbert tip brush, because that one works really well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the whole thing brown. Get him some cute little brown eyes. And then we'll go back and add black and white accents. So there's his little brown eyes, and I don't think it's always cool when colors come out where you can do him in just one coat. So I think our brown is good to go in one coat. Managed to hit just a little bit of the wet black and pull it in, so I needed to cover that. All right, so we're going to leave that just a minute and let it dry. And then we're going to do a little black circle in the middle. Now, as far as the black circle goes, bum, 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 bum. Hey, Charity, can you bring me one of those sponge pouncers out of there, please? The, no, I need a bitty, about that big. Ooh, that big. That works. Ta-da. My lovely assistant. It's funny when you're doing paint parties and stuff, you end up packing up supplies, and then there's some supplies I try to leave in the bucket, and so my little sponge pouncers are one of them. So I'm going to use that, and it'll be a quick way to make a circle in the middle of the eye. If you don't have a sponge pouncer, you can always grab just something small and round. This would probably be, it's a little smaller than a bottle cap, water bottle cap. I was trying to look. Nope, the paint caps are still a little bigger. So, marker top might be a little bit bigger. Oh, my lovely assistant bringing me a comparison. Nope, it's a little bit bigger than the bottle cap. Well, but these are really cool, and I get them by the bagfuls. So I usually get several sizes in a bag, so that way, especially when doing paint parties, means you have everything at hand for whatever different sizes everybody might need. All right, with sponge pouncers, you just get paint on there, and then I usually use the side right here and wipe off the excess. So you can see there on the side where it is. And then you can see it's not globbed up when you do that. And then I just push down, give it a twist, and pick straight up. So push down, twist straight up. All right, so he has the black center of his eyes. Now what I want to do is I want to take a black paint pen. I'm going to go ahead and get my paint pens out here. I've got a skinny one, and I've got a medium-sized one, and I'm going to get the white one. I have a medium-sized white one, so I'm going to use those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the medium-sized black one, and I'm just going to go ahead and clean up around some of the edges. So like right here around the ears, I'm going to do a little cleanup, as I call it, and just straighten up any odd paint marks that may have gotten into the picture. So bring him around, and now this actually has a black mark that goes across the ear, so that works out good. And on this one, come across all the way to the other side, and there we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go around the bigger part of his eye and just get it cleaned up and nice and tidy. And this is allowing the center of the eye to get good and dry. And I can go around. The brown is basically dry, so I can just kind of go around the brown and just make sure that I've got it nice and tidy too. All right, I'm going to go around the nose. Just make sure that it maintains its heart shape. And then around the snout, don't need much around the snout. I actually did pretty good about staying pretty smooth, but I do have a few little areas, a couple of little spots here. One right here around this edge, and then one just on this edge where the paint was not perfectly smooth. It had a little bit of a all I can think of is like frayed look, where it just kind of looks fuzzy. Fuzzy, maybe that's a better word for it. Looks fuzzy, and so I like to clean it up and make it look all nice and neat. It's just like the edges here between the black and the white. I like for them to be nice and neat. And so that's what I love about paint pens. I do a lot of things with the brush and the paint, but to me the paint pens give the nice straight lines, the nice clean lines when you want to have something truly separated. All right, so we're just going to work on this paw for the moment. And I'm going out of picture. I'm sorry, y'all. I keep thinking maybe I should put my camera stand on a book. I've actually considered doing that, and maybe, just maybe, it would be up just a little bit higher. All right, go around the heart. And we're almost to the finish line, y'all. Just a few little highlights once I finish this, and we will be done. All right, so the last of the round there. All right, let me see about highlight marks just before I put up the black marker because, okay. All right, so we have got just a little bit of a mark here and a little bit of a mark here. Just a fun little whimsical mark. And then the rest of them, it looks like, are done with white. Just around the paws and stuff. All right, I'm going to take this skinnier black paint pen, and that's what I'm going to use to go around the lines of my bamboo. Because these are smaller lines And I don't want them to stand out the same way that, actually, I'm going to hold off on that. I don't want them to stand out the same way that the lines coming from the panda stand out. I want them to be just a little bit smaller. Okay, now, these itty bitty lines here, I'm going to grab, not white, sandy. Grab the wrong one. Ah, here it is. This is a brush paint pen, and so the tip of it is like a brush. And these super small, tiny lines on this end of bamboo, and what it is it's the rings at the end of the bamboo. I just went over them with that itty bitty, small, fine brush tip paint pen. All right, let's get our white lines on here, and we will be done with our little friend. All right, so he's got just a little line there and there. And then, of course, we've got our main line here that actually separates his arm and his little foot. So we want to make sure to put that one there. And then the one over here. Now, again, you can't see, because of the way the camera sets it up, you can't see the cut line there, but I can, with it painted, I can see the cut line to tell where to draw my little division line. All right, so we're going to add just a quick line there and one quick line there. And then I'm going to give him just a couple of quick little lines on his ears. Maybe make one of them squiggly. I got to give him his mouth. He can't enjoy that delicious bamboo without a mouth, right? And then I'm probably just going to give him just a little bit of a shine on his nose. So just a little bit of a shine there. And actually, I've got just a little bit of black on my pen on the tip, so wipe that off so that way we don't have that there. All right, now he does have little dots in the black part of his eye. Now what I'm going to do, show y'all how I do this. I'm not going to use the paint pen for this. I'm going to go back to the white that I had earlier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of my brushes, my bigger brushes that I'm not using. And so you can see it has a pretty big round end. I'm going to dip in the white, okay? So see what I'm doing there? I'm putting, yes, I know, it's the wrong end. I'm going to just touch down. I'm not going to move other than just to kind of twirl the brush around, almost like you would a top, and put a white dot in the eye. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. I got to get my example picture out of the way. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just find a spot, and then I'm just going to kind of roll it around. And what that does is that makes the circle just a little bit bigger. Now the reason why I wanted that one bigger is because I'm going to come back and put one more, but it's just going to be just a touch dot. So it's not going to be as big as the other dot. Okay? All right. Well, guys, gals, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, thank y'all so much for joining me this evening. And that's our cute little panda. He is all finished and ready to go. Let's see. I'm going to I like to do time-lapse videos with my lives, and so I usually have a time lapse running on the side over here. So I try to give it a few minutes where it can focus in and show the finished panda at the end. So I'll turn him back around in just a second. But and then I'm going to finish. I'm going to straighten up my little line here. I just noticed it needs just a little bit more. All right, so the time-lapse video is all through. We're going to turn that off. And I'm going to come down and just darken up my line a little bit. It looked like my paint pen um, wasn't quite doing what it should have done. All right, so there he is, our cute little panda, our baby panda, all done. Him and his big brown eyes. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Remember the paint party box for May. Ordering is open over the next several days. I keep that open for 5 days, and then the May paint party box will be closed. And coming up in June, we will have the Door Dazzle box. So be looking forward to, or be looking in the weeks ahead to seeing the sneak peek and also the reveal of the Door Dazzle box. And coming this summer, we are working on website, online shop, as well as a Pinterest page. So all of that will be coming to you this summer, as well as I went ahead and announced this yesterday. So we are working on another box. This one will be kid focused, and so this will be art for the kids. So we're going to be working on that in the summer and trying to get that set to launch in the fall. So working on that one for the next school year. So thank y'all so much. I hope y'all have a great week and a wonderful evening.